Uche from a humble background. But she lived and grew up in one of the towns in Lagos State with her family. Although originally from the eastern part of Nigeria, her father was a retired teacher, and her mother a small-scale trader. She had grown up with strong values of respect, humility, and kindness. She was a nurse in one of the prestigious hospitals in her town, where she met Chief Femi during one of his visits to the hospital for his routine checkups. Both after some months became friends. This went on for a while. One day, Chief Femi proposed to her. Her parents were very worried because both were from different tribe groups. Uche was from Igbo while Chief Femi was from Yoruba. These tribes have very strong cultural beliefs, especially marriage. The Yorubas in most cases prefer to marry from Yoruba, not from another tribe. The Yorubas marrying the Igbos has always caused a lot of problems. Uche's father asked her in the presence of her mother, and he asked sadly, "Uche, are you really sure of getting married to Chief Femi? His family does not accept you. Please reflect again." Uche replied, "Father, Mother, I understand your concern, but my mind is made up. I am ready to stand by my husband. I love him. He is a good man. All I ask from you both is your blessing and prayer." Her parents knew it was not going to be easy for their daughter, but they were willing to stand by her till the end. Despite the age differences, Chief Femi loved and cherished her. He was over 10 years older than her. For her husband it was love at first sight. For him it was rare to see a homely young beautiful girl. Uche, though quiet in nature, but was very intelligent and smart. Chief Femi was generous and caring. Although when she was introduced officially to Chief Femi's family they all thought she was a gold digger. Yemi, the only brother of Chief Femi, said sarcastically, "She is here because of Chief Femi's wealth." Uche was not accepted in the family. But her husband Chief Femi was in love with this young Igbo lady, and nobody could do anything about it. She had noticed how he commanded respect, or rather, demanded it, and how his words were law in his household. Still, Uche was determined to make her marriage work. She believed that with time, she would learn to love him. In the small, bustling town of Lagos in Nigeria, the marriage of Uche and Chief Femi was nothing short of a spectacle. Chief Femi was one of the wealthiest men in the region, known for his successful businesses and his philanthropic contributions. Uche, a woman of quiet beauty and grace, was a perfect match for the influential chief. The wedding, a lavish affair held in the grand hall of Femi's mansion, was the talk of the town for months. An excessive party followed the wedding. Uche's family, though overwhelmed by the extravagance, were still worried for their daughter. But beneath this golden union surface were cracks that only Uche could see. Chief Femi's brother, Yemi, a man with a hardened face and a greedy glint in his eyes, watched her with an unsettling intensity. Joy filled the household of Chief Femi after the birth of their son Tolu. Chief Femi was overjoyed. Life in Chief Femi's mansion was a far cry from the simple, peaceful life Uche had known. The servants were always at her beck and call. The food was rich and abundant, and her wardrobe was filled with the finest clothes and jewelry. Yet, Uche often felt like a prisoner in her own home. Chief Femi was a man of routine and tradition. He expected Uche to adhere strictly to the roles of a dutiful wife, silent, obedient, and always ready to please. There was no room for arguments, no space for her opinions. Her every move was watched by Yemi, her husband's brother. Yemi was a sharp contrast to his brother. While Chief Femi was serious and commanding, Yemi was very tricky. He had no real occupation, living off his brother's wealth and always finding ways to insert himself into Chief Femi's business affairs. Uche noticed how Yemi often tried to undermine her husband, making sarcastic comments or trying to influence his decisions. But Chief Femi would hear none of it. He had little patience for his brother's schemes. As the months passed, Uche became more accustomed to her life in the mansion. She learned to navigate her husband's moods, to stay out of Yemi's way, and to find solace in small things, like tending to the garden or reading in the quiet of her room. She prayed every day for strength, hoping that one day she would find her place in this intimidating world. Uche got pregnant again. Chief Femi was extremely overjoyed, and he said to his wife Uche, "My beloved wife, you have made me a proud man. Thank you so much for everything. We will prepare for our second baby with so much love as always." Uche replied, "Thank you to my amazing husband." One evening, Chief Femi returned home looking unusually pale and tired. He dismissed it as a minor ailment, insisting that it was just the stress of work catching up to him. But as days turned into weeks, his condition worsened. He became irritable, his powerful frame slowly withering away, his voice losing its authoritative edge. Worried, Uche urged him to see a doctor, but Chief Femi was stubborn. He believed in traditional remedies and dismissed modern medicine as unnecessary. However, when he collapsed in his study one night, clutching his chest in agony, Uche took matters into her own hands and called the family doctor. The diagnosis was Chief Femi had advanced liver cancer. The doctor explained that it had spread too far, and there was little that could be done. Uche was devastated. Despite their differences, she had come to care deeply for her husband. She couldn't bear the thought of losing him. Chief Femi, faced with his ill health, became even more withdrawn. He spent hours in his study, going over documents and making calls. Uche noticed that he seemed particularly concerned with his will and the future of his business. He became increasingly secretive, locking himself away for hours, even barring Uche from entering his study. Yemi, on the other hand, seemed oddly pleased by the turn of events. He visited the mansion more frequently, always hovering around his brother, asking about his business and the will. Unease grew, but she felt powerless to intervene. She could only watch as the man she had married deteriorated before her eyes. Everything happened so fast. It was a cold, rainy morning when Chief Femi passed away. Uche had been by his side all night, holding his hand, whispering words of comfort. He had slipped away quietly with one final breath, leaving her and children alone in a vast, empty house. The days following Chief Femi's death were a blur of mourning and ritual. The funeral was a grand affair, attended by dignitaries, business associates, and family. Uche, clad in black, stood by his grave, her heart heavy with grief and uncertainty. It was during the reading of the will that the first blow came. In his will, Chief Femi had left the majority of his estate to Uche and children, a decision that shocked everyone, especially Yemi. The mansion, the businesses, the wealth, it all belonged to her. But there was a stipulation. Uche could not sell or transfer any of the assets for at least 10 years. The will also made Yemi the trustee of the estate, meaning he had to oversee everything, but with no real power to make decisions. Yemi's face twisted in rage as the lawyer read out the will. He had been counting on inheriting everything, and now all he had was a title with no real authority. Uche could feel his eyes burning into her as she sat there, numb and confused. She knew that Chief Femi had done this to protect her and children, but she also knew that it had painted a target on her back.
Hi! Please stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for watching. Please write in the comment section below what moral lessons you learnt from this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and put on the notification bell button. Please stay tuned for more.